into some things of the things, child. We got some stuff to talk about today, honey. We got some stuff to talk about. Hit that like button. If you are new here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We have a great time over here. You meant what you said when you said it. Really be expecting, because I'll be understanding y'all sometimes. And when y'all know when I say y'all, you know I ain't talking about y'all. You know I'm talking about y'all. Makes me that all these people that got something to say have been actively involved in the political process in their world. I don't believe it. You ain't gonna convince me. I know y'all love me. What's up, y'all? Happy Tuesday to you guys. Please make sure to go ahead and get your Black Girl vitamins. Listen, they got vitamins for everything. Whatever you got going on in your life, they got cholesterol, magnesium. They have stuff for the pressure. They got the iron pills. They got everything. Okay, get on over there and check it out. They have collagen for you to put in your water, put in your drinks. Okay, use my discount code ReallyBTV. If 20% off your first order, like I keep telling y'all, you know, if you already ordered once, just fine, just get you another email. You know how we do. You know how we do. All right, now let's get into this. Oh Lord, let me take this down. Okay, so let me get into this. So first of all, let me say to you guys, I cannot promise you that this is what we're gonna be doing for the next 4 years, because I told you last time I had to take a step away to preserve my mental health. But today we got some stuff we're going to talk about as it relates to what's been going on the last 24 hours. We are still raising money for the Red Cross. We're up to $620. So thank you to all those who have given, all those who want to give. Again, I know everybody's doing things in their own way, that want to do something in their own way. But if you want to contribute $5, $10, $20, so we can meet our $1,500 goal to send to the Red Cross to help, to go towards the effort out in LA. Okay. Let me say hi to the people coming in. Kenya, Brittany, Bilo, Santavia. Hey, boo. Lock Queen, Pinkerbell, Mo Walker, Tan, KK, Grown Woman, Don't Try Me. What's up, Quake? Miss D. Mo, I think I already said Mo. I'm in the office now. Leave federal workers alone, child. Hey, Auntie Eva. Tawana Complex. What's going on? Hey, lovely Nola, child. They got all that snow down there in the Nola. I saw Bondi Blue playing in the snow earlier. By the way, hey, Holly Young. Hey, Shakira. Powerful. Hey, my love. I beat Lori. What's up, Lock Queen? Hey. All right. If I didn't say hi, charge it to my head and not my heart. Hey, Marnie. Trying to get you guys in here. Not the Cheeto can be overwhelming. I get it. Thank you. I appreciate it. So yesterday, you know, I was talking yesterday, and again, y'all, everybody doesn't have to agree with me as long as we are respectful in our disagreement. And you guys were, for the people that didn't agree with me about the cancel culture and everything, it's okay to disagree with me, you guys. But today, by the time we get done with this live today, I hope, even if you still don't agree with me, I hope you will understand why, for me, this is not the same. Okay? This, not the same. Official Carla Lorianne. Hey, welcome. Hey, Ravine. Hey, Boo. Hey, you guys coming in, Fran. Hey. So, 8 to 9 inches. Wow. Well, some people were just saying that we shouldn't be canceling people and what's so different between Trump and other Republicans and yada, yada, yada. What up, Gina Bina? Child. Every time I see Regina, it reminds me of something I was supposed to do that I didn't do. Somebody called me and I forgot to call them back. You probably know who that is, Regina. Yeah. So let's get into it. First of all, I'm gonna just start with what up, El Teddy? Just got through breaking down those executive. Yeah, we about to talk about the executive orders too. You sure know who I'm. Okay, you know who I owe a phone call to, right? So here's the thing. First of all, I'm gonna just read you guys the definition of an executive order, so that we can start at the same place and work our way forward, right? So an executive order is signed, written, and published. It is a signed, written, and published directive from the President of the United States that manages operations of the federal government. Okay? Executive orders are not legislation. They require no approval from Congress, and Congress cannot simply overturn them. Congress can pass legislation that might make it difficult or even impossible to carry out an executive order, such as removing funding. Only a sitting U.S. president may overturn an existing executive order by issuing another executive order to that effect. So, when we hear these executive orders, that is where we're going to start. That is where we're going to start. Now, I want to add a caveat to that. An executive order cannot contradict the Constitution of the United States. Hence why 24 states are now suing Donald Trump and the government over his executive order wanting to get rid of birthright citizenship. Birthright citizenship is guaranteed in the freaking 14th Amendment to the Constitution. And the only way to change the Constitution is to make an amendment. That would be an example of something he cannot do. Now, can he put the executive order in place? Absolutely, he can. But it cannot contradict the Constitution, which is why there will probably be a stay on revoking birthright citizenship, and why 24 states are currently suing. Well, Auntie Eva, you say only 24. Well, that's up from 18. I mean, this morning it was 18. Now it's 24. I suspect that within the next 24 hours, the number is going to be higher. It's not going to be 50, because remember, there are some states that support this. So I need y'all to remember that it's not going to be 50, because there are some states that are supporting this, and their governor, whoever, is not going to sue the government. So yeah, let's start there. Let's understand, if you live in a red state, you personally might feel a certain way, but your state does not in every case. So I need y'all to understand that. I need y'all to understand that your state may not have a problem with it, even if you personally do, right? Somebody asked me, hold on. Nitwit said, hold on. Has your administration had any talks about ICE coming to schools? I'm in Texas, so we are getting calls about students not even wanting to complete the FAFSA in fear of exposing their parents. On my level, we have not. Can I be honest about something? I think that some people still are not understanding the full extent of this situation, because I tried having that conversation with some people right before Christmas. We were talking about something else. We have a lot of English as second language students coming into our school, and I was trying to have a conversation about the ML students as it relates to this. And the response I got was, well, Maryland is a sanctuary state, so we're not worried about it. And I'm like, you do know he can get rid of that, right? Like, you do know he has the power to get rid of this whole sanctuary city, sanctuary state, sanctuary county. Like, y'all understand this, right? Like, this isn't something that like that's not a protective shield. So I don't know if my county or state has fully embraced the situation yet. I don't know. we had a 2-hour delay today. So, but I will say a fair number of my English as a second language students were not there, but that may just be because of the weather. That may be because we had a delay. Like, I don't know. So it'll be interesting to see. The entire ICE situation is very scary, especially when you have regular citizens that's deciding to make citizens arrest for illegal immigration. It's a mess. It's a mess, you guys. It's a mess. Lovely Nola said, I know my state is being quiet in the corner. Powerful said, I know my state will sue his ass. Yeah, your state gonna sue. Yeah, they gonna sue. Santavia said, my response since November has been, you'll see. Exactly. And when the people started pushing back on me, I said, okay. And I mean, these are people that are above my pay grade. So I was like, all right, then. Y'all ain't worried. I ain't worried. Y'all not making a plan. Okay. Y'all not putting nothing in place. Whatever. Like I said, I was in a meeting where it was a bunch of people above my pay grade and they ain't seem to be concerned. So I was like, okay. So, and I mean this with all of the respect I can muster. Don't ask me to do shit. And I really mean that. Like, I'm not even being funny. I honestly mean that. Don't ask me to do nothing. I'm sorry. But I understand that everybody being affected did not vote for him. Hell, I'm being affected and I didn't vote for him. So I get it. But let me go through these executive orders. This is an article. I'm reading an article from the New York Times. Is this the right article? Okay, let me make sure it's the right article. Hold on. I don't know if this is the right article or not. If not, I got it on my phone. I've gotten so many articles. No, this isn't the right article. Hold on. Child, I got so many articles on this thing. Hold on. Because I emailed it to myself, but I have it on my phone. I emailed it to myself just in case I lost it. Wait a minute. Oh, no. This is the right one. Hold on. Let me look at my phone. Okay, yeah. I don't know why it didn't email me the right article. Is this the right article? Oh, wait a minute. Maybe it did email me the right article. Anyway, I'm going to just read it from my phone. That way I don't have to worry about going back and forth to the chat. So let's go through some of these executive orders and let's talk about what that means. So federal workforce. The first thing we have is freezing of federal hiring, except for members of the military or positions related to immigration enforcement, national security, or public safety. So here's the reality. If you have applied for a federal position or you were trying to get a federal position, this applies to you, right? Unless you apply for positions in one of those three categories, don't expect a phone call. That's all I'm going to say. Hope you didn't quit your day job. Restore a category of federal workers known as Schedule F, which makes lack of the same job protections enjoyed by civil career service. That basically means he has strict protections for federal employees. Basically, he has now created a category where you can be considered at will or you can be considered like not protected, right? You can be fired without cause is what this basically means. So if you do get a job or if your job changes classification, if you were whatever you were and now you have become a Schedule F, or then just know that you do not have certain protections, and you may want to find out what that means. If you are a federal employee, you may want to reach out to your human resources department and get more clarification on how they can make people a Schedule F, if your position can be a Schedule F, and what that means for you. Of course, they say it's to cut down on people who are, have excessive absences and things like that. But when you make somebody at will, then that's just what it means. It's at will, which means at any point in time, they can be fired. And it sounds like without just cause. Halt of new federal rules from going into effect before Trump administration appointees can review them. So I feel like this is directly being connected to things that Biden put in place. So again, you may want to check and see if that affects you. Review the investigative actions of the Biden administration to correct past misconduct by the federal government related to the weaponization of law enforcement and the weaponization of the intelligence community. All right. Grant top secret clearances to White House staff without going through traditional vetting procedures. Remember when Donald Trump was saying he wanted to appoint all of these people to these positions, and one of the first things they said was they won't be able to get clearance because they can't pass the vetting process. Well, now they don't have to. Can I tell y'all a secret? Can I tell y'all a secret? Donald Trump can't pass the vetting process because he's a convicted felon. So he needs this as much as anybody else. I said Donald Trump can't pass this. Because he's a convicted felon. I'm just telling y'all what I know. Cheryl said, I was surprised to see all of the Black federal workers when I moved to D.C. Baby, D.C. is a federal city, and state and federal government. You have a lot. When you talk about the Great Migration going back to the 1930s, 1940s, that's why you had a lot of Black folk move to D.C. because of the federal jobs and because they were able to get really good positions, make really good money, and have that longevity of protection in a government agency where they basically could work to retirement. Even if they were a custodian, they were making good money, right? Even if they were the elevator operator, they were a federal employee and they had all of the rights and protections of a federal employee. So you had a lot of Black folk that migrated to this area from the South that were able to get positions in federal government. So when I tell you guys that DC is different when it comes to like these reality shows and stuff like that, because you got a lot of people that have these government positions and stuff like that have this top security clearance, and they're not going to risk it by being on TV acting a fool. I need y'all to know I understand. I know what the hell I'm talking about, right? I'm not saying you can't find anybody, but I'm telling you that the makeup of DC is just a little different when we talk about the workforce and what people are willing to do and not do. You literally have people who are 3 and 4 and 5 generations federal employees. I'm exaggerating when I say 5, but you literally have people who are 2 or 3 generation federal employees, So, baby, when I tell you, okay. In remote work policies and order federal workers back to office full time. Now, I'm going to put a star next to that, a little caveat next to that. Again, you need to reach out to your human resources person and find out, because there is a difference between remote work and telework. And if you are considered telework, that's different, and that may not apply to you. This is my understanding, and I could be wrong. So reach out to your human resources person. But if you have a telework agreement, this may not apply to you. But remote work and telework are 2 different things. My daughter's wife is a 5th generation federal employee. Exactly. Right. That's where y'all get that term, get you a good government job. Exactly. Immigration and the border. Child, here we go. Bar asylum for people newly arriving at the southern border. So I don't know I ain't going nowhere around that damn office. Hey, St. James. Hey, boo. Powerful said I'm correct. Thank you. I want to make sure, again, y'all know I don't know everything. I'm just trying to bring y'all some information. So if I misspeak or if I have some information that's not accurate, y'all let a sister know. For those, I know that I'm sure that y'all saw that video yesterday of going viral of that woman who had an appointment. She was at the border yesterday. She was supposed to go in for her appointment to get her asylum, whatever, and it was canceled. And basically, she was told, "That's it. That's all. It's a wrap." And she literally bust out crying at the border. Yeah. Move to end birthright citizenship. I already told you guys that is guaranteed by the 14th Amendment. He literally has to change the amendment to the Constitution in order to totally do away with that. Now, can he make life hard for people? Sure. Can he, deport first, ask questions later? Of course. I mean, listen, this is the power we've given this man because he controls Congress. He controls the Supreme Court. He controls the executive office. There's checks and balances written into our Constitution. But when I say we, I don't mean me and you. I mean, as a country have given this man the power to control all three branches of government. So does he have to change the Constitution? He does. However, okay, thanks, Powerful. Drop it in the chat, boo. Suspend the refugee admissions program until such time as the further entry into the United States of refugees aligns with the interests of the United States. So basically, that means it's gone. Because I don't see this administration finding it of their interest to bring anybody into the conversation. I'm just saying. Declare migrant crossings along the U.S.-Mexican border to be a national emergency, allowing Mr. Trump to unilaterally unlock federal funding for border wall construction without approval from Congress for stricter enforcement efforts. You know what else he can do if he declares it a national emergency? Y'all know what else he can do? He can deploy the National Guard. I'm mad they didn't protect us and evoke the 14th Amendment. Who didn't protect us? What you mean? Kibi wonder, what you mean? Who you're mad that who didn't protect and who is us and evoke the 14th Amendment? I don't understand. I mean, I'm not being funny. I want to understand what you're saying, babe. Yep. Resume a policy requiring people seeking asylum to wait in Mexico while an immigration judge considers their case. Y'all know how long that's going to take, right? Oh, the Senate and Congress. You mean the Senate and the House of Representatives? You mean Congress? Why they didn't invoke the 14th Amendment? Well, I mean, he being sued, so we'll see. Consider designating cartels as foreign terrorist organizations. I want you guys to listen to some of this language. Consider. Move to. Like, I need y'all to hear the language. I'm going to need y'all to hear the language. Because some of this stuff, okay. Gender diversity, equity, and inclusion. Let's go. Terminate DEI programs across the federal government. That's not a surprise to anybody, I'm sure. Recognize two sexes, male and female. Remove protections for transgender people in federal prisons. So I need y'all to understand what this means. And let me say this to some of y'all. I want you to erase your opinions on transgender. I want you to just, however you might feel, I need you to push that to the side right now. I need y'all to hear what I'm saying right now. Because I want y'all to understand where these slippery slopes begin. Him saying there are only two sexes. Somebody might say, what's the big deal? So what? Who cares what he thinks? But what that does is that opens the door for insurance companies to now say, well, we're not going to pay for gender reaffirming care. We're not going to approve any type of hormones, surgeries, anything along those lines, because we as a country in the United States of America only recognize two genders. And you were born a man, you are a man. You were born a woman, you are a woman. So you can do it if you want to, but we're not going to pay for it. So that's number one. How does that affect the rest of us? Because somebody might say, well, that ain't got nothing to do with me. It opens up the door for insurance companies to say things like, well, we're not going to allow you to have nose surgery because your nose is going to make you look too masculine. I know that sounds extreme, but let's not act like we don't know how the insurance companies don't want to pay for nothing, no way, right? Oh, well, we're not going to allow you to have your breast augmented because you're trying to reduce your breasts and it might make you look more like a man. We think maybe you're trying to look like a man. So no, you can't get it. You can't get it. Do you understand how this is a slippery slope and how these things open the back door for other things? Because y'all, and when I say y'all, I ain't talking about y'all, but y'all are so busy saying, well, I don't care. I agree with that. And I'm not talking about just LGBT. I'm talking about the migrant workers. I'm talking about all these things. Yeah, I agree with all of that. What you're not paying attention to is how that front door sitting wide open leaves a trail for the back door to come in. I was getting ready to go there, El Teddy. You was one step ahead of me. I was getting ready to go there too. We're also opening the door to undo legal same-sex marriage. I was getting ready. Me and one of my coworkers were actually having this conversation earlier today. He is in a same-sex marriage, and me and him were having this conversation today, right? Well, it goes without saying that hate crime's about to go up. With that child, I mean, we can say it, but absolutely, it opens up the door because again, now we're saying, well, we only recognize two male and female, and we recognize marriage to be between a man and a woman. Therefore, ergo, boom, same-sex marriage is gone, illegal. And the same way people were saying, well, they can't make same-sex marriage illegal. Ain't that the same thing they said about abortion? I could have sworn that's the same thing they said about abortion. Did they not? Did they not say the same thing about abortion? Because I thought that's what they said. I thought that's what I heard. That, well, they can't get rid of abortion. And remember, we as a country have put this man in charge of all three branches of government. So no, don't look to the Supreme Court. Don't look to the Supreme Court. Let me keep going. Sorry. Okay. Tariffs and trade. Direct federal agencies to begin an investigation into trade practices, including persistent trade deficits, unfair currency practices, as well as examine flows of migrants and drugs from Canada, China, and Mexico to the United States. So first of all, that directive order right there is a bunch of mishmash plus pew pew. Direct federal agencies to begin an investigation into trade practices, including persistent trade deficits, unfair currency practices, as well as examine flows of migrants and drugs from Canada, China, and Mexico into the United States. Access China's compliance with a trade deal Mr. Trump signed in 2020, as well as the United States-Mexico-Canada agreement, which Trump signed in 2020 to replace NATO. North American Free Trade Agreement. Order the government to assess the feasibility of creating an external revenue service to collect tariffs and duties. Carry out full review of the U.S. industrial and manufacturing base to assess whether further national security-related tariffs are warranted. Now, My students and I today were talking about tariffs because, you know, that's what we learn in class. We learn about tariffs. And my high school students understand how dangerous this game that he's playing with the tariffs are. But okay, moving right along. Withdraw the United States from the Paris Agreement, the pact among almost all nations to fight climate change. I'm sorry, can I read that again? The pact among almost all ALL nations to fight climate change. Declare a national emergency, a first in U.S. history, which would unlock new powers to suspend certain environmental rules or expedite permitting of certain mining projects. Attempt, again, I need y'all to hear this language, attempt to reverse Mr. Biden's ban on offshore drilling for 625 million acres of federal waters. Begin the repeal of the Biden-era regulations on tailpipe pollution from cars and light trucks, which have encouraged automakers to manufacture more electric vehicles. Ain't your best friend don't your best friend make electric vehicles? So you're putting things in place to discourage people from making electric vehicles? Don't your best friend make electric vehicles though? Okay. Open the Alaskan wilderness to more oil and gas drilling. Restart reviews of new export terminals for liquefied natural gases, something that the Biden administration had paused. Halt the leasing of federal waters for offshore wind farms. Eliminate environmental justice programs across the government, which are aimed at protecting poor communities from excess pollution. Review all federal regulations that impose an undue burden on the development or use of a variety of energy sources, particularly coal, oil, natural gas, nuclear power, hydropower, and biofuels. Okay. Consult federal agencies on any national. Oh, I'm sorry. This is the TikTok ban. Consult federal agencies on any national security risk posed by the social media platform. Then pursue a resolution that protects national security while saving a platform used by 170 million Americans. Mr. Trump ordered his attorney general not to enforce the law that banned the site for 75 days to give the Trump administration an opportunity to determine the appropriate course forward. Now, first of all, what I noticed they didn't put in here was that he's the one that asked them to do this in the first. Trump wanted the ban on TikTok. He started this. He started the ban on TikTok in case people in the back don't know. But here's what I find interesting. I didn't get it. I must admit, and maybe I'm slow. Maybe I was late to the party, and that's fine. I didn't get this TikTok thing until today. I knew there was an angle, but I didn't know what the angle was. I knew it was because I know Trump doesn't do anything without an angle that's going to benefit him. So I did not know what the angle was, but I got it today. The angle is he wants TikTok. Did you hear what he said today? That at the end of the 75 days, that he wants the United States to own 50% of TikTok. And if they don't get 50% of TikTok, that by the end of 75 days, he is going to enforce the ban. That's what he said. I said, I got it. It took me a little slow. It took me a minute. I was a little slow on it. But the minute he said that, I said, oh, got it. Got it. Boom. Took TikTok down to change the servers and update servers. Gangsta Thug. Child. All right. Last couple of ones. Withdrew from the World Health Organization. He renamed Mount Denali and the Gulf of Mexico. Y'all. Did y'all see that clip that's going viral of Hillary Clinton giggling when he said that in his speech? Because I didn't watch any of the inauguration, right? But I've seen some of these clips. Baby, did y'all see her giggling when he said he was going to rename? I said, I'm sorry, what? Baby, that thing was funny. She just started giggling. You know how you just hear something so ridiculous you can't help yourself. Baby, she just started giggling. Ensure that states carry out the death penalty and have a sufficient supply of lethal injection drugs. You know, one of the reasons why states were saying they couldn't carry out the death penalty is because they did not have enough drugs. So not only is he buying enough drugs to make sure they don't have that as an excuse, but he's now saying, if somebody in your state is on death row, chop, chop, get to it. Let's go. What are we waiting for? Chop, chop. ReallyB is 50% part of the agreement, or is it 100% owned by a U.S. company? Well, at first he was saying he wanted it to be owned by a U.S. company, but today what he said was, hey, I think the United States should own half of this. And so that's what he said today. Implement the Department of Government Efficiency. That's the Elon Musk agency that he's going to lead. That's the Department of Government Efficiency. So he signed an executive order to create that department. So for people that were like, he can't do that, why can't he? Revoke security clearances for 51 signers of a letter suggesting that the contents of Hunter Biden's laptop could be Russian disinformation. So, do you know how petty you have to be that? Well, El Teddy, I'm sure you said it on your platform. I'm sure you told your people about it. Do you know how petty you have to be to say, I am going to revoke the security clearances of people who signed a letter that I didn't like? Like how petty do you have to be? So those are the highlights, you guys. I've been taking screenshots of stuff all day. So let me just read y'all some of the screenshots I've come across today. Caitlyn Jenner, he tweeted out, "Congratulations, Mr. President. Thanks be to God." And someone responded and said, "He just ordered the government to start calling you Bruce." Baby, I fell out. When I tell you I fell out when I saw that, I said, you dumbass. See, that is the very definition of voting against your best interest. The very definition of voting against your best interest. I said, funny, so I screenshotted that. Oh, I already told y'all about that. Government website offering reproductive health information goes offline. I'm going to read that again. Government website offering reproductive health information goes offline. The Constitution has been removed from the White House website. The Constitution has been removed. from the White House website. Okay. Trump shifts his tone on the Gaza conflict and says, it's not our war. Not our war. He also said yesterday, while he was signing all these executive orders, he said that Gaza is a beautiful place. Right on the waterfront. It's a nice place to repurpose. This is what he said. Nice place to repurpose. Right on the water. He said most of the people there are dead already. I'm telling y'all what the man said. I'm not making this up. He said that. He said most of the people there are dead already. I'm just telling you what the man said. That's what he said. We know that he freed the 1,500 plus people that incited the insurrection on January the 6th. Yeah, he freed them, including the leader of the Proud Boys, who I believe was sentenced to 22 years. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And was it Quayon, the shaman guy? He said, quote, I just got the news from my lawyer. I got a pardon, baby. Thank you, President Trump. Now I'm going to go buy some motherfucking guns. Down to the Instagram, over to the Meta, they have now blocked certain words that you can't search. Words like Democrat, Kamala Harris. It's a third one. I don't have it in front of me. But yeah. Just a damn mess in my El Teddy voice. Yeah. Tracy said the bar's open. I think all y'all need a drink. Go on down there. I think everybody needs a drink. Trump just rescinded President Biden's executive order to lower prescription drug costs for Americans that are on Medicare and Medicaid. That was a dog whistle? Sure was. Do y'all think anybody that's on Medicare or Medicaid voted for Trump? That now? Yeah. I'm just wondering. Do y'all think any? Okay. The Spanish version of the White House website and the White House's Spanish Twitter account have been deleted. Deleted. I'm just giving y'all the information as I have it. Katrina said, I thought if you had a violent criminal conviction, you couldn't get a pardon. Who's gonna stop him? He controls Congress. He controls the Supreme Court. He controls the executive branch. Who's going to stop him? I mean, tell me who's going to tell him he can't. Wait a minute. Hey, Leo, I haven't seen you in a long time, boo. Hey, happy New Year to you. My pharmacy is now closed. That's right. What you mean your pharmacy is closed? What you mean, boo? My God. Did I hear he wants Americans to be colorblind? to act as if we shouldn't have race on our driver's license or birth certificate. Child. No, I didn't see that, but Walgreens is now shut down in Houston. All the Walgreens are just yours. Do you know why? Kenya said hers was closed due to weather. Maybe it was closed because of the weather. Leo. So let me go back to what I was saying yesterday when people were telling me we shouldn't cancel people just because they decided to perform at the inauguration, and what's so different between Trump, what's so different between Trump and Reagan or Bush or whatever. If you still feel the same way, I can't tell you nothing, right? But for me, he said, which means I can't get my meds for my depression or sexual health. I have no clue why. Maybe it's the weather, Leo. Miss Bathane says some Walgreens are closed for good or will be in the next few weeks. Yeah, Walgreens was closing a lot of cities. They announced that last year. I mean, they were closing a lot of locations. They announced that last year. So you might need to find out where they transfer your prescriptions to, because they would have to have transferred your prescriptions somewhere, Leo. Don't panic, baby. Don't panic. I need you to call. There should be a 1-800 number, or there should be another Walgreens that you can call and find out where they transfer your prescription or how you can transfer your prescription. Because a lot of Walgreens are closing down. And they should have, but I would think they would have sent y'all something to tell you that, though. They should have said something to let you know that to get your stuff transferred. But don't stress yourself yet. I know panic sets in, but you need to find a customer service line for Walgreens. And you need to find out, because they should have transferred y'all prescription somewhere, but they definitely should have called you. Yeah, and yes, and call your primary doctor. Thank you, Mo's World. Call your primary doctor and find out how they can transfer your prescription somewhere. Yeah. Yeah, don't get excited yet. I don't think that has anything to do with this. I think that's just Walgreens having to close locations. Yeah. Because remember, CVS and Walgreens was trying to merge, and the government said no. Oh, Tracy put the number in the chat, Leo. Thank you, Tracy. Oop, wrong one. And El Teddy said, look into some options where you can get your prescription sent directly to you. I know my parents, they get their prescriptions mailed to them. Well, not all of them, but they get some of them. So look into those as well. Thank you, El Teddy. Look into those as well. Mo said that happened to him, and he had asked his doctor to transfer it to public. Yeah. Don't panic about that. Like I said, I don't think this has anything to do with that. Kenneth said, on my way to the bar, I need a hookah too. Well, it's over 300 people in the chat today. The bar's open, the hookah is out, and the kitchen's open. You know, whenever we get over 300 people in the chat, the kitchen opens up. Now, I don't know who cooking, because I ain't seen Abby and I ain't seen Chef Don Don. I don't know who back there cooking, but the kitchen should be open. Okay. It does. Oh, Leo. Yeah, it does. I don't come down here to scare you guys. I come down here for y'all to be informed and to act accordingly. So you might need to call your case manager tomorrow as well, Leo. Walgreens pharmacy was very expensive. At one time, they had a lady working there, and she wasn't a pharmacist. She got caught, and then she went to another pharmacy. Child, that's crazy. No, the boom boom room. There's no boom boom room over here. You have a boom boom room, El Teddy. There is no boom boom room at Really B's house. There is not one. There is not one. If y'all want to get into the boom boom room, y'all gotta subscribe to El Teddy, and y'all need to go on over there. There is no boom boom room here, sir. The U.S. Justice Department has filed a civil suit against Walgreens, accusing the retailer of dispensing millions of illegal opioids and other prescriptions, and then illegally seeking reimbursement. Child, El Teddy, yeah, that's what El Teddy was just talking about. So yeah, it may be caught up. He said it may be caught up in that too. El Teddy said it may be caught up in that. So the best thing I'm going to say to you guys, for anybody that is concerned or worried about prescriptions or anything like that, first call your doctor tomorrow and see if you can get your prescriptions transferred to. If you are on Medicare, Medicaid, I don't know the right term. I'm not, pardon my ignorance. Call your case manager and find out how this may affect your case manager. I mean, how this may affect you. You know, make all the appropriate phone calls and do all the appropriate things. That's the best thing I can tell y'all. And I'm sorry. But again, this goes back to what I started off when I said, don't ask me for shit. I saw where a lot of these farmers out in Nebraska are now saying that if all of these deportations go into effect, that they're going to be bankrupt within 3 weeks. See, here's the one thing. Here's the one thing I'm going to say about Donald Trump. The one thing I'm going to say about Donald Trump is he did not lie to y'all about what he wanted to do. Now, he might have lied about Project 2025, said he didn't have nothing to do with it, but we knew he was lying. Or if you cared to know, you knew he was lying. But he told y'all he wanted to kick all these people out the country. He told y'all he wanted to get rid of DEI. He told y'all that he didn't believe in transgender anything, that it was man, it was woman, and it was nothing else. Like, he told y'all these things. He told y'all he was going to send everybody back to work. Like, he told y'all these things. So for the people that thought it didn't matter, it wasn't going to mean them, that he was talking about everybody else except for them, or that it meant everybody else except for them, I don't have any sympathy for you. Sorry, not sorry. Now, I do have sympathy for the rest of us that did believe it, that did not vote for him. Sure, I have sympathy for us. I absolutely do. But at the end of the day, y'all down to the Nebraska, y'all was down at the MAGA rallies. Y'all was like, Trump is our man. He's our savior. He's this and he's that. And now all of a sudden, y'all complaining, talking about, well, if he gets rid of all of the illegal immigrants, I'm going to go bankrupt. Well, join the club. Get in line with the rest of the people down to the office. I don't know what to tell. Right, Pam? Hey, boo. They got my Pam. Yeah. Apparently, they thought he was playing. But a lot of people, y'all saw where a lot of people were like, well, I didn't think he meant me. Why? Why did you not think he meant you? So if you are a rancher or a farmer and you know that you literally have non-documented workers working on your property, what in the thought he meant he was going to get everybody else but you? Why? Because you voted for him? You thought it only applied to the people that didn't vote for him? Excuse me. Hey, I'm here to tell you the majority of the people that didn't vote for him, they're not your neighbors. What about all the illegals down to Mar-a-Lago? Well, you know he's not going to inconvenience his way of life. So that just goes, there's that. He's not going to inconvenience his way of life. So we can put that over there to the left, okay? I did see where that bishop called him out in the church service today. That shit was funny as hell. I loved it. 2 tears in a bucket. A mother. Absolutely. I feel like Jennifer Holiday / Jennifer Hudson. And I am telling you, we told you. All of us told y'all. And y'all didn't listen to us. Y'all villainized Kamala. Y'all villainized Biden. And I'm not saying they were perfect. That is not what I'm saying. I am not saying that they were perfect. And I'm not even saying that I would have liked everything that Kamala Harris would have done over the next 4 years, or would have supported everything she did over the next 4 years. But what I do know is that Kamala Harris did not have a vendetta to go after the very essence of what makes America America. That's what I do know. I bet you they still had the Spanish version of whitehouse.org or .gov up right now. I bet you we wouldn't be worried about if they was getting ready to mass deport thousands and thousands and thousands of people on a whim. I bet you we wouldn't be worried about that. I bet you there wouldn't be damn near 25 states suing the damn government right now over violation to our freaking Constitution. I bet you we wouldn't be worried about that. I bet you we wouldn't be worried about 1,500 white supremacists who literally have just been emboldened. They have just been told what you did was okay, and don't worry about it. I'm going to go ahead and let you out of jail. I bet you we wouldn't be worried about that shit. Now, I ain't saying that they were perfect, and I'm not saying they'd have ran this country in a way that wouldn't have made us mad down the line. I ain't saying that. But I'm telling you what we wouldn't be worried about today. That I can promise you. Yeah, where's that? Thank you, Kenya. Where's the executive order that said he's going to lower prices on eggs? Can somebody bring me that one? What number executive order was that? Where is the executive order that says that he is lowering the price of eggs? I need it. Please find it for me, please. Yeah, he said he was going to let the insurrectionists go. That's what I'm saying. Like, y'all. And when I say y'all, I ain't talking about y'all, because I know y'all knew. But I'm trying to figure out what y'all thought this man would think. Like, does he come off as a guy that's telling jokes? Like, did y'all think he was playing with y'all? This man told y'all what he was going to do. I'm not understanding where the confusion is coming in for all of these people who are now going, oh, I didn't think he meant me. Who the fuck did you think he meant? If your parents snuck their ass into this country and Donald Trump said he wants to get rid of all the people who snuck their ass into this country, who the fuck did you think he was talking about? I'm confused. Anyway, child. Southeast Omaha is the Hispanic part of town. They must be freaking out. Monique, can you say it for the people in the back? He told you he loved the uneducated. Listen, that man told y'all in an interview, now mind you, it was after the election, but did y'all see that interview? I want to say it was on 2020, where he said he just started saying the word groceries. He said, yeah, I just started saying the word groceries. Mia said he said exactly what he was going to do, including you will never have to vote again. He sure did. So the sweet tea have to go back to DC. She's a remote federal worker. It depends on the language. We were saying that earlier. It's a teleworker and there's a remote worker. It depends on the language. But can I say this too? Let me say this, and this is just my opinion based on what I know, not what I know with Trump, but just what I know or boots on the ground. Can I tell y'all something? A lot of these things do not happen overnight. Now, the mass deportations and the raids and stuff, they might be knocking on people's doors tomorrow. I ain't talking about that. But a lot of this going back to work shit, a lot of this stuff is not going to happen overnight. Let me say why. And let me tell you guys why. First of all, a lot of these government, and I know this to be a fact because I have friends that work in the government. A lot of these government agencies have literally reduced their workspace based on the fact that people were working from home. I have a friend of mine, pre-pandemic, she had her own, cubicle, right? She had her own cubicle. During the pandemic, they went home. Well, before the pandemic, she was actually teleworking, but she still was going in the office like 2 days a week or something along those lines. But I think she was like 3 days home, 2 days in the office, something along those lines. So, of course, pandemic, 100% at home. Over the pandemic, her company, this isn't a federal employee, but this is a big employee up here in the DC area, a major employee up here in the DC area. They literally got rid of a lot of their office space during the pandemic. And then when they decided that they wanted them to start coming back to work, literally they now have to rotate. They no longer have their own cubicles, and they literally have to rotate space. And she has to like sign up for when she's going to come in the office, and it's based on seniority because there's not enough office space for all of them to come to work at the same time. So they tried to make all of them come to work, but they can't because they got rid of so much office space that literally they can't have all of them come to work at the same time. So they have to I think she has to do, I want to say she has to do a certain amount of hours per month. She has to do a certain amount of hours in the office per month. And she literally has to sign up, get a bid in, and it's based on seniority. So if she only wants to work on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday to get it over with. You know what I mean? It's something like that, right? So I know for a fact, I'm telling you what I know. I know for a fact that some government agencies did the exact same thing. There were some government agencies up here that literally got rid of some of their workspace because they didn't own the workspace. They were leasing office space in DC or in Maryland or in Virginia, and they got rid of a lot of it. So some of this stuff is easier said than done. That doesn't mean it won't happen. But what it does mean is you're probably not going to get a phone call tomorrow telling you to get to work. Probably not. I'm just saying. I'm not saying it won't happen at all. I'm not saying it won't happen at all. I'm saying it probably will not happen overnight. Used to call it hoteling. Okay. When you had to rotate that. Okay. I see a lot of y'all saying that in the chat. Hoteling. Yep. Yep. El Teddy said, if you're concerned about government efficiency and saving money, how are you forcing people to go back to the office? Child. G said, I think the union said they're fighting it. If you're going to work some days per week and at home, the rest is called hybrid. Yeah, I know that's, yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Again, I'm not saying it won't happen, y'all. Please don't. I don't want nobody to come in and say, well, I ain't saying. I'm just telling you some of this stuff is not as easy as take your ass back to work tomorrow. I'm just telling you. I'm gonna tell you, a friend of mine. I'm not gonna say what government agency he worked for because I don't want nobody to be able to trace it back. Not to him specifically, but just in general. But there's a government agency here a friend of mine worked for, and before Trump's first election, he was teleworking. He's been teleworking for years. He probably ain't been in the office outside of meetings. Like if he needed to meet with his supervisor or if he needed to meet, like there was an in-person meeting. He literally has not been in the office on a 5-day-a-week schedule probably for 10 years. Like he's one of the first people that I knew of that worked from home every day, right? So with the last Trump administration, he got a new supervisor, somebody that was appointed by somebody that was appointed by Trump, right? So his last supervisor was like, I need everybody to come back in the office. Everybody coming back in the office. You can only work from home 1 day a week. You got to come in the office 4 days a week. You can work from home 1 day a week. So he dusted off his suits, he went back into the office. After after about 2 or 3 months, he realized, ain't nobody here but me. His supervisor, who he didn't even know, right? Barely knew the person, had been appointed by an appointee of Trump, right? Didn't know this person. The person didn't know him. They literally spoke mainly through emails or on the phone. Literally, that man never came into office. He was like, this man don't never come into office. I don't never see him. Then he started noticing slowly but surely all of his co-workers stopped coming into office because they were like, hell, if he ain't here, he don't know that I'm not here. And so he stopped going into office. And it was like that. So it sounds good and everybody's talking about, but he said, hell, within a year, all of us were back at home. Because the supervisor that they put in place didn't enforce it because they didn't want to come into office. And the only way they could enforce it is if they were there to make sure we were there. And they weren't there. So anyway, child, I've been working from home for over 10 years. They tried to get me to go back in the office and that didn't work. Yeah, and don't get me wrong, y'all. I'm not saying nothing will happen. I'm not saying it can't happen. I'm saying it's easier said than done. That's all I'm saying. I ain't saying it can't happen. I'm saying it's easier said than done. The man has control of all 3 branches of government as well as a co-following, including black males, among others. I'm on my own. I'm on my own. Once again. Not a government worker, but in the private sector, IWFH. They call all employees back into the office. Many are looking for jobs. Really, B, how bad is that the U.S. has pulled out of the World Health Organization? So let me put a pin in that and say I will have to do more research. But off the top of my head, it's definitely not a good thing if, you know, when we start looking at global illnesses and things of that nature. Remember, the World Health Organization was very instrumental in things as it relates to COVID, but I will have to do more research. I do not want to willy-nilly throw it out. El Teddy may have gone over that in more detail on his live earlier today. He may have, but I don't want to tell you, you know, more. But I know when we start talking about things like, you know, preventative measures as it relates to across countries, right? It was the most pointless game of musical chairs trying to find a building for me to sign into. Hell, one day I went to the executive office and worked in there. Yeah, see, I mean, again, I'm not saying that these things won't happen. I'm just saying that some things will be easier than others, right? Pulling out, okay, El Teddy said, pulling out of the World Health Organization means the CDC doesn't have to take guidance from them about viruses and illnesses and pandemics. Okay, there you go. Yeah. It actually saves companies money to have people work from home. I thought it did too, but not to hear them tell the story, Sham. Yep. All right, y'all. I'm about to get off of here. I will be doing the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills tonight. I'm going to do it as an upload, episode 2 of Young, Famous, and African. I'm gonna probably do that as just an upload tonight. And I'll go live again about Young, Famous, and African later on this week. Maybe for episode 3. Because I want to, y'all know I don't like going ahead without doing my live, and I don't have time to do another live tonight, but I may do it as an upload. The feds can simply act like the next COVID isn't a real thing. Remember how Trump got the CDC to change during his administration? Yeah. Yep. When is the next? We'll have to figure it out, El Teddy, but it'll probably have to be for episode 3. Because I've already watched episode 2 and I want to hear it, but I'm not going to do it as a live. I just don't have time because I still have to do Married to Medicine, but I don't feel like doing two more lives tonight. They want to control your every move. That's why they want people to come back to the building. There it is, Pam. They want to be able to keep their eyes. Yep. Well, you guys, all I can say is keep your head on a swivel, stay diligent. I don't know what else to tell y'all. Like I said, I can't promise that I'm going to come down here every day and talk about this stuff because my mental health probably cannot handle it on a day-to-day basis. But make sure you are subscribed. If you haven't, there's 300 of y'all in here. If you have not already subscribed to L Teddy 27, L Teddy, drop your link. Tracy, drop L Teddy's link, please. If you guys have not already subscribed to L Teddy, make sure y'all do, because he will definitely be giving you guys the political updates on a regular basis. I just can't guarantee it's going to come from me every day, because I told y'all before, I had to take a step away last time. I had to protect my mental health. I was getting depressed. You know, I just couldn't do it every day. But L Teddy definitely will. That is his judge. That is his judge. So if you are not already subscribed to L Teddy, y'all get over there, y'all get subscribed, and y'all make sure the notifications are on. He comes live damn near every day. Certainly Monday through Thursday-ish. And he comes live around 5 o'clock. So if you don't get the notification, just check at 5 o'clock, 5:15, and make sure he's there. And the Teacher Project as well is 300 of y'all in here. If you are not subscribed to the Teacher Project, we're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. We have 870 something, I think. So if you guys could get us another 130 people in here, give or take a few numbers, it's 300 of y'all in here. I know 100 of y'all ain't subscribed to the Teacher Project. So if y'all, we definitely give you guys a perspective from the view of education, and there will be a lot to talk about. I am sure. So make sure you guys are subscribed to L Teddy 27, subscribe to the Teacher Project 2.0. And if you want to just relax your mind and talk about meaningless housewives, make sure you are on Really Be TV Reviews, and we can do that as well. I really enjoy you really being L Teddy. Thank you, boo. Thank you. That L Teddy boy, he all right. I can see his face now. Excuse me? I love to make L Teddy roll his eyes at me. It's so much fun. All right, y'all. Let me get out of here. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.